Profits in poultry farming depends on so many factors. The first one, it depends on the prices of the feeds. Second, it depends on how you've taken care of those birds. Now for the broiler farmers, how much weight have you been able to attain by the time you're selling that bird? And for the layer farmers, how have you taken care of those birds and how are they laying eggs? And then also it depends on the duration a farmer has taken in this project, and then also it depends on the location of the farm. Now when we talk about the prices of feeds, you realize that the prices of feeds keeps on fluctuating. Now for us in Uganda, what affects the prices of feeds a lot is the maize and the maize bran. So you realize these two things are never stable. So during the time when the prices are high, you realize your profits will be low, and when the prices are low of the maize and the bran is low, your profits will be high. And then if we talk about the location of the farm, someone in Uganda is not getting the same profit someone in Kenya is getting, someone in South Africa is getting, someone in Nigeria is getting, someone in Zimbabwe is getting. So also the location matters. And then how long have you taken as a farmer in that project? You realize those who have taken long in this project get higher profits compared to the people who have just started the project, because someone who has just started the project still do not have customers, so they tend to sell their eggs or their meat products relatively low to attract many clients. So you realize that person is also getting little profits compared to the person who already has the customers. And then when we talk about how have you taken care of your birds, some of you, your birds are not even reaching 80% production for the layers. You realize your performance will not match with someone whose performance is 90%, okay, or 95%. And then with the broiler farmers, some of you tend not to feed these birds well. So by the time you're selling the birds, you realize most of the birds are underweight. They have even not made it to 1.5 kilograms. So you'll end up getting very low profit. So today we are going to give you a complete guide how much I've been able to make with my 324 layers. But remember, I'm going to use the current feeds and the current feed formulation. So I've decided to use the recent receipt that I received from the stores where I get my feeds from. So that is what we are going to look at. But I want us to know that the profit keeps on varying from place to place and from time to time. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Malinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Today I'm super excited because we are going to look at the profits that I've been able to make with my birds. I know most of you have been waiting for this topic, and some of you have really been asking me that how much money are you making from your farm. But as I said earlier, the profits keeps on varying from the location, from the prices of it, and so many other things that I have discussed. So stay tuned till the end. But for those who are still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. And I want to say thank you to all the channel members. Thank you so much for all your wonderful support. For those who are still planning to join the channel membership, kindly join the channel membership so that we can grow together. See you right back. So today I have the honor to calculate my profit that I've been making from my 324 birds, and we are going to use the current receipt which I used for purchasing my feeds on the 21st of April 2025, and today is 23rd of April. So we are going to use the current feed formulation, and then we are also going to calculate it in Ugandan shillings, in US dollars. For those who are not in Uganda, at least you will be able to compute it very well. And then also we are going to it's going to be a little bit long, so I would want everyone to stay tuned till the end, because I want us to understand very well how much you can make from these birds. And then please, for those who have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe. Don't forget to like the video and drop a comment in the comment section. So let us start it right away, calculating my profits. Okay, now today is 23rd of April 2025. We currently have 324 layers. Or let me write like this for someone to understand very well. Shall say profit profit for 324 layer farm. I think this is much better. Oops. Oh my god. Now we have 300 and layers, and we are going to start with the expenses. Let us first start with expenses. We are going to look at, before we come to feeds, I've also noted down things. Before we come to feeds, the first one, we shall look at labor, of which every month I'm spending around 70,000 Ugandan shillings. The second one, we are going to look at water bills. Water bills, of which I'm spending around 20,000 Ugandan shillings, simply because I do not use the national water. I have a well, so I normally just pump the water. Then we are going to look at electricity bills, because I still use electricity for pumping the water, and then I normally switch off the lights like at 10 in the night. So we have also electricity. We shall also put that one at 20,000. And then I have transportation. Especially for the feeds, because normally my clients buy the eggs from the farm here. So transportation, 60,000. Then we shall come to medication, all the herbal medicines. The herbal bills. Let me just put it like that. I normally spend 50,000 every month. So let us total up this to bring us to 220 Ugandan shillings, okay, which is equivalent to 59 US dollars and 64 cents. What I forgot to tell you is the dollar rate of the day. Our dollar rate is $1, $1 US dollars. Okay, I forgot, sorry about that. It's equivalent to 3,689.08 cents. This is our dollar rate of the day. Please let us keep this in mind. Sorry, I forgot that. So this is the expenses that I am encountering every month. Okay, we have the labor, we have the water bills, we have the electricity bills, we have the transportation, especially for the feeds, and then also we have the herbal bills. These herbal remedies that I'm using almost every day, I also purchase them. So in total is 220,000 Ugandan shillings, of which is 59.64 cents. Okay, 59 US dollars and 64 cents. Oh my God. Then let's come to the biggest expenses, which is the feeds. We are still tackling the expenses, which is the feeds. Now, with the current feeds, I always buy 400 kilograms of feeds, which normally takes me 10 days. And we are considering 30 days here, okay? We are considering 30 days. So I normally buy 400 kilograms of feeds. So in the 400 kilograms of feeds, let me just nail down. The first item which is there is the maize bran. Maize bran, which I normally purchase 200. Sorry. I normally buy 208 kilograms, of which each kilogram is costing me, each kilogram is costing me 960 Ugandan shillings. Okay. Then I normally buy broken maize. I normally buy 72 kilograms, of which each kilogram costs me each at currently is at 1,450 UGX. Then the third item I normally mix there is the concentrate. And we all know I'm using the 5% Hendrix concentrate, of which I normally purchase 20 kilograms. Because last time we say in every 100 kilograms we shall need only 5 kilograms. So this is 400 kilograms. So that means we need 20 kilograms, of which each kilogram is at 4,900. This is very expensive, by the way. UGX. Okay. Now, another item that I'm mixing there is the lime, of which lime I'm adding 40 kilograms, and of which each kilogram goes for 400 shillings. This one is very cheap, UGX. And then another one is the soya. I'm adding 40 kilograms of soya, and each kilogram is at 3,000 UGX. And then the last item that I'm adding there is the sunflower cake. The sunflower cake, of which I am putting there 24 kilograms. 24 kilograms. And each kilogram is at 1,400 Ugandan shillings. 400 UGX. Okay? Now, we are coming to the total of the feeds. Okay? We are going to look at the total of the feeds, of which, if we come to maize bran, we shall realize that we are going to need 199 700 Ugandan shillings. This is the amount of maize bran. Okay. Then when we come to broken maize, we shall need 100. 104,400 Ugandan shillings. Then when we come to concentrate, we shall buy it at 98,000 Ugandan shillings. And then when we come to lime, lime for it is very cheap, 16,000 Ugandan shillings. Then when we come to soya, it's going to be 108 Ugandan shillings. Then when we come to sunflower cake, just going to cost us 33,600 Ugandan shillings. All this is in Ugandan shillings. So we are going to total our feeds. Now, I did the totaling before because I didn't want us to waste a lot of time. So when we total all these feeds, you realize that every 10 days, I am spending 559,700 Ugandan shillings. So the total is 559,700 Ugandan shillings. This in every 10 days. And in US dollars, I am spending, in US dollars is 151 US dollars and 72 cents. Okay, so this is the money that I am spending on feeds for 10 days. And remember, we said we are going to use 30 days. So that means we are going to multiply this times 3. Okay, so let us say if we want for 1 month, okay, for 1 month, we are going to say 500. The body is becoming small. 559. We shall multiply it by 3, okay, which will equate to, it's going to be 1,679,000 Ugandan shillings. So this is the money of feeds that I am spending every month. This is the money I'm spending every month. Now, we are going to add this plus the total amount of the expenses to find the total expenses that I have every month before we come to the eggs. Okay, so now let us come here. Let us use this space. So we are going to bring these expenses 220,000 plus 1 million. Okay, let me do like this. Let's do like this. Let's first say 1,679,000 plus 220. We want to find the total expenses. So you realize that when we add 1,679,100 plus 220,000 Ugandan shillings, it will bring us to 1,899,100. So this is my total expense in a month. Okay, this is our total expense in a month. So total expense is equals to 1,899,100 Ugandan shillings. Okay, this is our total expense. Now let us come to the eggs now, because now it is the eggs. Okay, it is the eggs, see, that is going to determine our profits. I've already shown you my expenses. This is monthly. Then the feeds every 10 days. This is the amount of feeds. Okay, and I've actually also computed it in the 1 month, how much I need for feeds, which is this. And then I have decided to add the expenses plus the expenses of feeds, which it has brought me to this. So now we are going to look at the eggs that I get here at the farm and how much I sell it. That will be able to tell us the profit that Alinga is getting from her farm. So I hope we are all together. Let me wrap this. Now, currently, I get 10 trays of eggs. However, some days things can come down. However, some days, depending on the conditions of the birds. Now, like last time, the birds had a lot of fleas and they dropped in production. But currently, they're already picking up. And remember, some days we get even more than that. So we are going to roughly use we just average, okay? And then also currently I am selling these eggs at 10,000 Ugandan shillings. But of course you find that there are some cases where a tray of eggs can even go for 12,000 or for 11,000. But let me use the average, which is 10,000 Ugandan shillings. So currently we have 10 trays of eggs every day, okay? 10 trays of eggs, okay? And each tray of eggs is at 10,000 Ugandan shillings, okay? Now, we said we are going to consider 30 days, okay? Now, 10 times 30, 10 times 30, that is how many? That is 300 trays, okay? So that means we always have 300 trays of eggs in a month. And if each tray is costing 10,000 Ugandan shillings, okay? So that means 300 times 10,000 Ugandan shillings is equivalent to 3 million. So you realize that in total from the eggs, this is the money that I'm able to get every 30 days, okay? Because we said every day we are getting 10 trays of eggs, and then each tray of eggs costs 10,000 Ugandan shillings. So if we say 10,000, 10 trays times the 30 days, this is 30 days. Because we agreed that we are using 30 days. So it means that every month I have 300 trays of eggs. So now, in a month, so we are saying 300 trays times the 10,000 Ugandan shillings. That means every month I have 3 million in cash. So if we deduct this money from the expenses, this is the total expenses we have calculated here, the fees and other expenses. So if we say, if it brings 3 million Ugandan shillings minus the total expenses, which is 1,899,100 shillings, you realize that the profits, because now we want to get the profits, okay? This is the expenses. expenses, and this is the total cash. Total cash that I'm getting every day from the eggs, because now the main thing here is the eggs. Okay, so let us come here. We are going to say, we are going to subtract this one from this one, which will bring us to, if we do the subtraction very well, to bring us to 1,109,000 shillings. Now we are looking for profits. This, okay? So therefore, our profits from our 324 layers is equivalent to 1,109,000 shillings, which is equivalent to 298 US dollars 0.42 cents. Okay, so this is the profits have been able to get from these birds. But I want to be honest, these profits keeps on varying depending on the prices of feeds and other factors, leaving other factors constant. But currently the prices of feeds are expensive, okay, because you realize the maize is 1,450 shillings, but there are times that the maize can come up to 700 Ugandan shillings. So you realize that these profits can go very high. But this because I have raised the birds well and I have managed to reach a certain level of production. And then this is not the only profits you're going to get from these birds. During the time of laying these birds off, we shall also sell the birds, and we realize that you will even make more money. So ideally, poultry farming is a lucrative project. It is not a project that so many people think is not lucrative. I want to be honest, this is a very lucrative project that someone out there can do, because you can do it at the comfort of your home. So this is the profit that I am making from this project every month, from this 323 and 24 layers. But let's look at a person who has more than this number of birds. How much money are they making? And let's look at someone who is making their own feeds in a way that they are not purchasing maize. Maybe they are cultivating their maize, or maybe they buy the maize, they stock the maize during the time when the prices are low. You realize the person is making more money. That's why I said with these profits, it's not that it is constant. It keeps on varying depending on how you're handling your project. So in short, this is the money that I've been able to make. So guys, I really want to encourage all of us out there. Please, let us join in poultry farming, because it is just a matter of playing with the techniques. If you just understand the techniques of doing this project, honestly, you're going to benefit. Because this is 300 birds that we are looking at. But how about people who have 20,000 birds and 30,000 birds? How much do you think they are getting in this project? And let us really embrace the use of these herbal remedies. Because of these herbal remedies, that is why I have made it this far. So we are going to go inside the farm. One of you is really demanding me to show him how to check for the laying birds and the non-laying birds. I know I have shown this before, but let's get into the farm and show this person how to check for the birds that are laying and the ones that are not laying. And then we shall collect our eggs together and we shall call it a day. See you right inside the farm. First of all, if you want to know the birds that are laying and not laying, you hear, like if your birds are soon starting to lay, the sound they make matters. You can hear how they're making that sound. That sound is for the birds that are laying. And then, the noise is too much. And then, you put 2 fingers like this, in between here. If these 2 fingers can fit in between here, it means that chicken is laying. But if you put 2 fingers and it cannot fit here, in between the cervix, okay? Here, it cannot fit here. Even 1 finger cannot enter. It means that that bird is not laying. And also you look at the parts here. If you see it is so, it's like this. This way, the way it is. You can see it is so oily or it is very wet. It means that chicken is laying. The one which is not laying here is always very dry. But you can see this one is very wet. And you can put these 2 fingers and it enters here. Okay? Sometimes also people look at this. Okay? But this sometimes doesn't matter a lot. But it also counts. If the birds have developed this, now like this one is different. It's different from this one. Okay? So it means, see, this one started laying earlier compared to this. But these 2 are all laying. Okay, this one is also laying. And then this one, if you put the 2 fingers here, it is laying. And if you look at the ano area, you realize it is also like this. You see? Oh, that's good. So that is how you check for the laying birds. And the sound they make also shows the birds are laying. Making a lot of sound. So let us collect the eggs. So for today, that is all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you so much for loving me. But if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. See you next time. I love you all. Bye bye.